Hello everyone. Today the important topic that we are going to discuss is in with reference to pre-pack insolvency. This has gained a lot of light for the last 1 year. A lot of talks have happened, and this is precisely because of the fact that the kind of stress that the MSME sector was going through. And also, it is to be noted that this is prevalent in all the other parts of the world. UK, USA, you do have pre-pack insolvencies related concepts available over there, but in India, it was not there. So, in order to look into this whole concept and also to have an addressing factor for the kind of stress that the MSME were facing, this new regime has been brought about. Now, having said that, as to what is this regime, well, technically, pre-pack is all about one. If you see, first there needs to be a default that should happen, and the default should be actually over and above 10 lakh rupees, and it should be below 1 crore rupees for it to fall under the criteria of a pre-pack insolvency. It is a kind of a plan which is being given for the set purposes that they resurrect out of this illiquid measures that they may be facing as an MSME. So what happens in this? Well, primarily the first part will deal with in terms of first obtaining the blessings from their own shareholder. That is a corporate company, that is a private limited company or a public limited company or a listed company, so on and so forth, whatever it may be. It should conduct a general meeting and it should pass this particular resolution that it will go under the process of initiation of pre-pack insolvency process. And thereby what will happen is that they also have to keep ready certain of the other things. They have to keep ready their list of creditors to whom they owe their money, who have supplied goods, so on and so forth. All their details needs to be there in consonance to this, ready beforehand before they approach this particular whole concept of PPIRP as we call. And the other part is that they should be ready with is with respect to the base resolution plan. That is the resolution plan that they would be giving for the purpose of how they would be settling in their own creditors and so on and so forth. Thereby, after this, after finishing the first level leg of work, the second leg of work will be with respect to the aspect of getting the blessings of financial creditors. And when we say financial creditors, 66% of them should approve this particular process, as this does not go through. And all of it, you take this particular application to the NCLT, and NCLT will look at the fitness of things. You also have to appoint your RP for the said purposes, and RP will evaluate whether you are an MSME or not, and whether at all you are hit by a 29A criteria. Now, whether you are an MSME or not is an important factor because of the fact that you need to look into as per the definitions of the MSME Act, and thereby determine whether you fall under that particular concept or not. You should be either a manufacturer or a service provider. And as far as the latest criteria which has been brought about by the government in the March last time around for the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme, Atmanirbhar package related scheme, wherein the whole concepts and definitions of MSME were revisited, and thereby you should fall under that particular criteria so as to be eligible for the set purposes of pre-pack insolvency. Now, how it is different, what it is different, what it has brought about? Well, technically, if you see, within 120 days is what you need to complete the set process, and you need to be out of the clutches of, you give a plan. You give a plan stating that this is how I'll be able to pay all these people. This is the kind of source of funds that I'll be having, so on and so forth. This is the base plan that you give in order to come out of the whole process of insolvency that you would be facing. If there is any other thing that needs to be noted is the important factor that all of this is a self-initiated process. This is not something which has been brought about by a third party. This is brought about by the self company, that is the corporate debtor themselves. They bring the whole concepts of PPIRP, whereas in the CIRP process, it may be triggered by an operational creditor, it may be triggered by a financial creditor, or under Section 10, the corporate debtor themselves can go through the process of CIRP. The most important factor in this is this, that the board also continues to stay in existence as well as earlier when you used to see in CIRP process, the board used to get suspended. But in this one, the board will be there, the IRP will be there, the financial creditors, the COC will be there. So thereby, what will happen is that both levels of work would be going on, and at the and if a particular solution is possible, the whole process may come to an end. So it is a welcome process which has been brought about by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and thereby looking at the scheme of things for the kind of stress that the MSMEs are facing. This is a welcome aspect, and we'll see a lot of the MSME going towards the whole concept of PPIRP, because of the fact that the stress levels that they are facing right now is more than what one can imagine, because of the fact that already the businesses are not running that well, and this is a kind of a boon which will help them to resurrect their whole restructuring process that they may want to go for. So this is it for the PPIRP. If you have any questions, do drop me a query in my chat box. Thank you.